Welcome in. This is Chiefs Chase. My name is Mike Bassano, and thank you so much for joining me as finally the Chiefs starters have played in a preseason game.
Extending the plays with his feet, buying time, and then, of course,
the Chiefs come out in the first half and crush the Chicago Bears. I was shocked at how crisp Patrick Mahomes looks, at how good everybody responded to what the coaches were talking about after last week against the Seattle Seahawks. We have so much to get to. We have so many different topics because even though this is preseason, and look, I'm right here with you. I get it. We're talking about preseason. But what I do know is that I have to trust my eyes. And I've done that from the very beginning. And you know what? So far, it's done pretty well. So I'm going to keep trusting my eyes and say that despite this being a preseason game, this filled me with more confidence than I ever could have possibly imagined. I was blown away by the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. So let's just dive in.
Mahomes. Again, great protection. Now he'll move to his right. Looking downfield. Pump fake. Now he'll throw late. And is the catch made? It's Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes!
Suddenly, the Kansas City Chiefs having a really tough early schedule doesn't seem like that big of a problem because what I just saw from that Kansas City Chiefs offense, and specifically from Patrick Mahomes, says that there is not going to be any problem with this tough schedule early on. I expect the Chiefs to roll. I expect them to roll quickly, and I expect all the doubters, and there are plenty, all the doubters to fall to their knees in awe of the greatness of the Kansas City Chiefs through the first 8 weeks of the season, because I don't care how many good teams there are to play. When you're moving like these guys are moving, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs are going to dominate once again, and we saw the crispness that's already there tonight against the Chicago Bears, especially from one Patrick Mahomes II.
Mahomes to the end zone, caught! Touchdown, Chiefs!
The way the ball is coming out of Patrick Mahomes' hands right now, the way that he is able to sling that ball right out of his hand, it looks more crisp. It looks more accurate. And Patrick Mahomes looks more confident than he's looked in a very long time. This Kansas City Chiefs offense has not been this loaded since 2018 when Patrick Mahomes threw for 50 touchdowns. I'm telling you this right now. And I know people are going to call me crazy. I don't care. You guys call me crazy anyway. 2013 Peyton Manning better watch out because Patrick Mahomes with this offense, an offensive line that can create a clean pocket? When did this happen? If the Chiefs have that clean pocket with all of the weapons that are emerging right now for the Kansas City Chiefs and how crisp and clean Patrick Mahomes looks when he's throwing, he can very much go after Peyton Manning in 2013. I know you're going to call it crazy. I don't care. Peyton Manning in 2013 threw 55 touchdowns. I believe the number I'm looking for this year for Patrick Mahomes is 56. Again, call it crazy. I don't care. This is how crisp this Chiefs offense looks and how stacked the offense looks. Let's run down some other things, man. Unbelievable. One Chiefs player just showed us against the Chicago Bears that we could be in for not just an explosive offense, but an incredibly balanced explosive offense. Because don't look now, but Isaiah Pacheco looks healthy. He looks healthy. He looks fast. He looks like he runs like he hates the grass, which is exactly how Isaiah Pacheco ran in 2022, the last time Patrick Mahomes won the MVP. Do not discount how important Pacheco was to that MVP because when you have to respect a running back like Isaiah Pacheco, it opens up everything else for the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you think about what Isaiah Pacheco brings to the table, coming out of the backfield, running off the tackles, everything that he can do to keep a defense off balance, he is going to make Patrick Mahomes' life infinitely easier at every single level. We were talking all offseason about this running back position. It's a question mark, right? Oh, well, what if Isaiah Pacheco isn't healthy? What are you going to do? Brashard Smith, he looks promising, but no. You know, there's just so many things. Kareem Hunt, great battering ram running back, but you need more than that. You know, so we're trying to figure out what's going on with this running back situation. Is it going to be a complete disaster? Because the fact is, if Isaiah Pacheco came back and he didn't look as healthy as he looks right now, I would be worried. I'd be sitting here concerned, saying, yeah, the passing game looks great, but we all know how football works. When you're one-dimensional, meaning you can only pass or you can only run, you become infinitely easier to defend. And that's what I was worried about in this situation. I was worried that we would be sitting here talking about, oh my God, what are they going to do at the running back position? Should they go get somebody? Is there someone sitting around that can grab and maybe put him on the practice squad? A Kareem Hunt situation from last year, if you will. That's what I was going to be worried about. So the exhale I had tonight when I saw that Isaiah Pacheco has a explosive run back. We've been waiting a long time to see Isaiah Pacheco get that leg right. He broke his leg last year, and he came back during the season. But we saw he didn't have the explosiveness. He didn't have the speed, and he didn't run angry and have the tenacity that he had, probably because he was just unsure of that leg. So the big question mark coming into this year was, is Isaiah Pacheco's leg going to heal and come back to 100%? And we're going to see the same Isaiah Pacheco that we saw in 2022 and 2023, or will it be a really unfortunate situation with an injury? Well, the good news, and I think it's only good news at this point, is that Isaiah Pacheco looks like an absolute freaking monster. Running downhill, slamming into the trash cans. He don't care. He's Isaiah Pacheco, and he runs like he eats the grass. That's got to get you fired up. That gets me fired up. Hell yeah, Isaiah Pacheco. The second he ran into that trash can and he popped back up, I said, we good. We good. We good. We waiting for... Look, Isaiah Pacheco is an incredibly important part of this team. Because as much as I like Brashard Smith for a future guy, for a guy catching balls out of the backfield, a guy that can be a scat back, there's a lot to love about Brashard Smith. And there's a lot to love about Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's a battering ram. You get him going downhill, he's a beast. Tough drop in the end zone tonight for him. Hopefully we get that right. But is he an every down back? He's definitely not going to hit a home run, right? You aren't going to hand the ball to Kareem Hunt and watch him rip off a 65-yard touchdown. But Isaiah Pacheco? Well, Pacheco is an every down running back. He's not a scat back. He's not a power back. He's both. And that, my friends, is worth its weight in gold when you're talking about an offense that has a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, a wide receiver core that now looks like it might be one of the top wide receiver cores in the entire NFL. Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster. What's up, baby? What a catch by Juju tonight. And then you add in Tyquan Thornton. How do you stop him? Tell me how you stop the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Somebody sit there and tell me, how do you stop the Kansas City Chiefs offense? Because I don't think you're going to have a very legitimate answer. You might have some answers about the referees or some excuses you decide to make while the Chiefs won 9 straight AFC championships. Yeah, AFC West championships, whatever. You might have some excuses for me, but you don't have a real explanation as to how anybody in the NFL is going to stop the Chiefs' offense. It's that explosive. It's that dynamic, and it gets me that fired up. What a play by Tyquan Thornton, by the way. What a catch. We'll talk more about him later, man. We got to get to other stuff. I'm charged up today. It felt like a real game. I know that it's preseason. I don't want to overreact, but yeah, whatever. Screw it. It's August. It's hot. We've been hot. We've been hot for a long time. Let me overreact just a touch to one preseason game because I really believe, watching how crisp they were, I've watched other preseason games, guys. I'm not just watching the Chiefs. I'm watching other teams play in preseason. None of them have looked as crisp, as good, and as explosive as the Kansas City Chiefs look tonight. I'm telling you, it's reason to get excited. Now, you can see the talent exploding from one Chiefs rookie. He's not there yet, but the talent is exploding. We'll tell you who it is coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But first, Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a game breaker, baby. I don't care how many people want to tell me that Juju Smith-Schuster is washed or that he's a mid player and he's not that good anymore. He's 28 years old. He has an amazing ability to find the ball in open space. Juju now has a lot of years with Patrick Mahomes, a lot of chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. So tonight, When Mahomes got outside of the pocket and started looking for a little bit of Mahomes magic, we saw Juju Smith-Schuster not only get open and find the spot where Patrick Mahomes wanted to throw the ball, we saw him body out the corner, right? Put his back against the defensive back so he could make a beautiful catch. That's what Juju Smith-Schuster is going to bring to the Kansas City Chiefs this year. I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I'm not saying he's going to be all pro or whatever. I'm saying the significant impact that Juju Smith-Schuster is going to make on this team will be something that everybody is talking about in Week 8. Everybody's going to talk about it by the midseason. But you know what? I tend to be a little early on things. People think that people like to talk on. Go ahead. I have Chiefs fans be like, this is just such a reach. Is it? Juju Smith-Schuster put the team on his back, though, in Super Bowl 57. That happened. I was there. They said, we need you. What'd he do? He answered the call and became a massive reason why the Kansas City Chiefs won that Super Bowl. He's also only 28 years old. Don't tell me a 28-year-old in the NFL is washed. That makes you sound like an ignoramus. Juju Smith-Schuster has his best football potentially ahead of him, considering his age and the fact that if he's coming back now and his knee is as strong as it can be, and he's in the best shape of his life, and he's making catches like the catch he made tonight against the Chicago Bears, then we're talking about a player that's going to make a significant, massive, and extremely positive impact for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's something that I think all of us can get on board with. All of us can get excited about that. But if you want to doubt Juju, go ahead. Keep doubting Juju. Keep doubting my guy. Because I'll tell you one thing. You're going to have egg on your face. Now, there is one player we have to welcome to the kingdom. In my opinion, an official welcome to the kingdom moment happened tonight. We'll tell you who that is in just a couple of minutes. But first, you can see the talent exploding from Brashard Smith. He has so much talent as a smaller back, a fast guy that works perfectly in Andy Reid's offense. He fits Andy Reid's offense like a glove. He's just not quite there yet. Well, he's a 7th-round rookie out of SMU. He's playing in a 3rd preseason game. Of course he's not there yet. But when you see that talent just bursting at the seams of Brashard Smith, you have to look at that guy and think, that's your 3rd running back, right? Isaiah Pacheco is your every down back. Kareem Hunt is your battering ram, your power back. And your scat back with the ability to make plays out of the backfield catching the ball is Brashard Smith. He'll have to grow into that role. He's not there quite yet. But if you tell me that you don't see talent just bursting out of Brashard Smith, I think you're not watching the games. I think you're not paying attention, because that kid has something special that could be a huge impact in specific situations throughout this season. I'm so fired up for Brashard Smith because I think Andy Reid specifically knows how to make that kind of running back really get good production and have big moments and big plays that are really going to help this team. So Brashard Smith tonight, he had an almost catch. It was his fault. It was the pass down the seam. Mahomes had him. He kind of it's almost like he kind of stopped, like he was unsure. He ended up having to jump for the ball, couldn't quite get it. That's what I'm talking about when I say he's not quite ready yet. He's there, and he's going to be there, and we're going to have to hope that he gets ready. And I'm sure that during the early parts of the season, the Chiefs are probably going to have Brashard Smith be more of a let's see what happens on this play type of guy. Because there's always guys during the season, and we see this with Andy a lot. Andy loves to do this. And I love that Andy loves to do it. It's a great plan. He gets a guy, and he goes, all right, let's put him in a situation that's low stakes. Let's see what happens. And I guarantee you're going to see a lot of opportunities like that for Brashard Smith. Maybe not a 3rd and long against the Bills, right? But you're going to see him in maybe, a lower stakes situation, get that opportunity, and then he's going to build that confidence up. Look, football is all about confidence. I mean, you could talk to every single guy that's ever played in the NFL, and they will tell you one of the biggest things that has ever existed in the NFL, that's ever existed in football, is the game is mental. And what that means is when you're confident, it's on. But if you lose your confidence, it is devastating. So Andy Reid, people don't talk about it enough. Andy Reid's one of the best coaches in the history of football at making sure that guys are confident on the field. Because that's everything in the NFL. You can't be Terrell Owens if you don't believe that you're the man. That's how that works. You can't be the man if you don't believe you're the man. And Andy Reid does a great job of getting these guys in position to believe that they're the man. So I have no worries that Brashard Smith is going to get everything elevated and going to be put in situations where Andy Reid makes sure he makes big plays and keeps his confidence high. It's everything. And Andy Reid does that better than anyone in the NFL, without question. So huge time talent for Brashard Smith. You can see it, right? You can see it. And once that thing develops, it's going to be beautiful. On to Tyquan Thornton. Welcome to the kingdom, baby. Welcome to the kingdom. We'll get to We'll get to the defense next. I think one thing really fired the defense up. We'll tell you what that is here in just a couple of minutes. I overshot. I got excited. Tyquan Thornton, welcome to the kingdom. We have been seeing him make incredible catches all throughout training camp. He's been the toast of training camp in St. Joe. Tyquan Thornton, every day people are talking about him, and we've been waiting. When is it going to translate? When are we going to see that flash for Tyquan Thornton? And what do you know? Patrick Mahomes with a clean pocket. How does that sound, Chiefs fans? With a clean pocket, launches a 58-yard bomb to Tyquan Thornton. And Thornton makes a beautiful catch. Amazing catch. And that's the kind of thing that you got to do in order to get that playing time. And by golly, Tyquan Thornton's doing it. That was a welcome to the kingdom moment for me, for Tyquan Thornton. Because as much as I've loved seeing him at training camp, as much as I've loved seeing Tyquan Thornton make everybody in St. Joe jump up and down, we've seen it before, right? We've seen it before with plenty of guys. They look really good in St. Joe, and then when they go to Arrowhead, it doesn't quite work out. And that's okay. Hey, that happens. But to see Tyquan Thornton go into Arrowhead, his first time as a Kansas City Chief in Arrowhead, coming out of the tunnel, big play opportunity. It's a lot of pressure. Boom! Comes up with it. No problem.
Mahomes, play action. He's taking a shot down the field. He's got an open receiver who's got the football. Tyquan Thornton.
That's the kind of guy that we want in Kansas City, and that is exactly what Tyquan Thornton was tonight. Welcome to the kingdom, baby. Woo! Hey, man. We're talking about right now, if you broke down the wide receivers, you're naming at least 4 guys before you name Tyquan Thornton. And Patrick Mahomes hit him for a 58-yard pass tonight? Let's go. I mean, we're talking about the 5th guy on the depth chart, the 5th. And he looks like that? Come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the kingdom, Tyquan Thornton. When he first came, by the way, when camp started, the question was whether or not Tyquan Thornton was going to make the team. Now the question is, how many targets do you get him per game? That's what happens when you put in the work. That's what happens when you leave one situation, come to a better one, and then put in the work, put in the time, and show out. You get that opportunity that Tyquan Thornton's going to get, and that is awesome. One moment tonight gave me a heart attack. I choked. I choked on barbecue. No joke. We'll tell you what that was coming up here in just a moment, and then we'll end it with a little Big Yeti. We got a little bit more to get to here, but the Chiefs' defense was fired up after getting called out by Steve Spagnuolo after the performance against the Seattle Seahawks. Despite a lot of the starters not playing against the Seattle Seahawks, you could tell that everybody took that performance personally because they came out against the Chicago Bears and they locked them down. That's the kind of fire and intensity that you want to see from a defense, even in just a preseason game. They came out with their hair on fire. They came out there chasing around Caleb Williams. They make him look scared. George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu, Chris Jones. They were wreaking havoc. All 3 of them in the backfield. Now, if you're telling me the Kansas City Chiefs defense, as great as it is, the Kansas City Chiefs defense has 3 guys that are going to be in the backfield getting after the quarterback on 3rd and long with ease, well, then you're talking about a defense that still has the chance to dominate in the NFL. And that is exactly what it looked like tonight. I don't think the defense is going to be as great, more so because the offense isn't going to protect it as much. We're going to see a lot more throwing deep for the offense, a lot more explosiveness from the offense, which means statistically the defense will look worse, but they're still incredibly strong, and they're going to be a huge reason for the success of the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, man, it's going to be sick. I'm so fired up. Another thing about the defense, Jaden Hicks is going to make the loss of Justin Reed not feel that bad. Jaden Hicks is making great open field tackles, which was the one massive concern I had when Justin Reed left the Kansas City Chiefs. In the open field, who's going to be the guy to step up and cut down a player and make sure he doesn't get a first down? Well, the night against the Chicago Bears, that answer was clear. It is Jaden Hicks coming from the safety position looking like Justin Reed. That's all we needed. That's exactly what I was worried about going in this year. And that question mark of who's going to take over for Justin Reed has been emphatically answered by Jaden Hicks. He had an interception in the first game of the preseason when the Chiefs were playing the starters, and then the open field tackles that he made in the third game against the Chicago Bears made it very clear to me the Chiefs are going to be just fine with Jaden Hicks at safety. Huge time plays tonight by him. All right, we'll end this with something about Travis Kelce. Trust me, it will be something about the game. By the way, I don't mind the stuff about Taylor Swift and the GQ and stuff like that. It's just not what we do here. You know what I mean? Like if I was just like, hey, what do you think of Travis Kelce's GQ? I feel dumb even saying it. Like I feel so dumb even having it start to come out of my mouth. Like, hey, what do you think of? Did you see the water jet? I don't even know what that thing's called. We'll talk about Travis Kelce as a football player to end things here in a couple minutes. But first, one moment tonight made me almost have a heart attack. Patrick Mahomes not sliding in preseason might be the most insane thing I've ever seen. The broadcasters yelling, slide. I'm choking on barbecue. Slide. Slide. Patrick Mahomes out here running around like it's 2018. He's playing like a rookie. He's playing like a man younger than himself. And I'll tell you this right now. If we're getting that kind of Patrick Mahomes, the fiery competitor that wants to not slide in a preseason game, then the Kansas City Chiefs might break every offensive record in the history of the NFL. And Patrick Mahomes is coming for 2013 Peyton Manning. And you can see it. He hears the disrespect. He knows that everybody's looking at these other quarterbacks. Well, look at this guy's numbers. Look at that guy's numbers. A lot of people tell on themselves that they didn't watch Patrick Mahomes last year because Patrick Mahomes last year was still the greatest quarterback in the NFL. He had to play a different style of game because the Chiefs lost their top two wide receivers before the end of September. So they lean on the defense, long, methodical, 10-plus play drives all season long, and then at the end of the game, Mahomes puts on the cape and he pulls out the victory. But not this year. This year, you're going to see the numbers that are matching the skill level and the play of Patrick Mahomes because he is going to uncork it and reign the reckoning all over the NFL in 2025. I guarantee it. Woo! Last thing, Travis Kelce. Woo-hee. Travis Kelce, he made up for his drop. He had one drop early on a tight end screen. Obviously a pass he should have caught. Immediately, I'm like, of course. Everything's going so well. And then Travis, here's the thing. The only reason I even bring it up is because I know other people will. I'll say this. He made up for it with two big catches, whatever. I was kind of hoping they'd bench him. Because, hear me out. Think of Travis Kelce's personality. Travis Kelce's a guy where if he has extra fire, he comes in and he dominates. Like, extra fire is very important for Travis Kelce. So when he had that first drop, I was like, don't throw to him again. Let him sit with that drop for 2 weeks. And let's see what happens in week 1 where he puts up 200 yards. I was seriously thinking that. But of course, it's Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs are dominant, so it didn't have to go down that way. They ended up getting Travis Kelce a couple of big plays, get that confidence up, and he's going to be ready for the season. But part of me wanted them to not go back to him after the drop so he could sit with it, just let it fester, and come out and dominate in week 1. It's okay. It's okay that it didn't happen. It's okay. Clearly, Andy Reid knows more than I do. So I'm like, all right, well, Andy, there you go. He wanted to go back to Travis, get his confidence up. You understand that. Well, this has been Chiefs Chase. The Chiefs, I honestly started recording this at halftime because I can't sit here and break down the Gardner. I love watching Gardner Minshew. I love Minshew Mania. I just don't, what do you want? I'll say this about Gardner Minshew. This is one important thing, and then I'll leave you with this. If Patrick Mahomes, God forbid, knock on wood, I got wood right here. If Mahomes were to get some kind of injury and be down for a few weeks, Gardner Minshew is a great backup quarterback. I mean, that's the guy who has significant recent starting experience in the NFL. And during this preseason time, Gardner Minshew's looked fantastic for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's pulled a little magic, done his Minshew mania. And I'm telling you, if Mahomes goes down for a couple of weeks, he's going to step in and be a serviceable backup. And that has to get you very excited for this season because it gives you that kind of extra padding, that extra confidence if something doesn't quite go the way it should be according to plan. And that is worth its weight in gold because backups don't matter until they do. So Gardner Minshew in Kansas City, a very important player, and I'm so excited for him to have a chance to sort of resurrect his career as a phenomenal backup quarterback. This has been Chiefs Chase. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me as I have a blast doing this with you every single time. I'm Mike Bassano. I hope you really enjoyed the preseason, and let's get fired up for the regular season. I appreciate you. Have a great one.